Joe.
Yes.
Joe, it was in MIT Quarterly 25 years ago that they had human animal embryos, but they killed them at the embryonic level.
Sometimes animals mutate in the strangest way possible. While some develop more heads, others become almost human-like. Some even become deadlier predators than ever. Today we will look at the strangest and most terrifying mutation found in the wild. Stick around because the #1 find is something straight out of a legend, and it might just leave you speechless. So, sit back, relax, and let's dive in. Number 30. The shadow. Imagine rare genetic mutations that make one of the deadliest predators on Earth even more deadly. This is the black panther. Big cats like leopards and jaguars rule the jungle. They are the apex predators, easily outmuscling any potential meal. But when some of these top predators are born with a melanistic mutation, they become even more deadly. This mutation causes the big cat to be even darker in color than normal. Sometimes they are born completely black. This means when this beast is out to hunt at night, no prey has a chance of spotting it until it is too late. There are drawbacks to this condition, however. Big cats use spots on their body to blend in or signal to each other. And without those, well, life can be a bit tougher. Does the extra edge in hunting make up for that? Let's hope so. Number 29, black coyote. Coyotes are another predator that finds melanistic mutations super helpful. It is not often you come across a completely black coyote, top to bottom. Now, here's the interesting part. Coyotes did not used to have this mutation. It was only after the species interbred with red wolves that melanism emerged. And turns out it's a change for the better. Coyotes with melanism tend to have a much higher survivability rate, easily evading hunters. Who knows, perhaps this new breed of coyote will take over, making the old colorful ones a thing of the past. While coyotes have gone darker, this next animal has done the opposite. Number 28, piebald deer. These deer are white, and nope, it is not because of albinism. It is a different condition called piebald. This rare genetic mutation causes patches of the deer's skin to turn white. Even the skin underneath lacks coloration. But this is not without consequences. The genetic mutations cause other issues for the deer too, like skeletal deformities. However, the severity of it varies. Some deer have only small patches of white skin and less skeletal deformities. This allows them to survive the wild, like any normal buck of doe. But in cases where the condition is more severe, the deer tends to have a much larger portion of its fur covered in white and has severe skeletal deformities. Rarely do these ones survive to adulthood, but if they do, they are a sight to behold because of their beauty. Number 27. Two-headed snake. A snake with one head is scary enough, but imagine one with two. It is nightmare fuel for sure. Two-headed snakes are rare, only having a chance of 1 in 100,000 being born. They are born because of a mutation during the reproduction process. If an embryo does not split properly, the snake can have 2 heads or tails. Now here's the interesting part. These snakes are not a single creature. Nope, each head actually works separately. So technically what you are seeing are 2 snakes with the snake body. Sadly, snakes with this condition often don't survive in the wild since there are 2 brains operating the same body, and that often does not work out. They have difficulty digesting food, their organs get overworked, and they can't move as fast. This all results in a much shorter lifespan. If more heads aren't your thing, how about this? Number 26, 8-legged goat. Taking extra legs to another level, we have goats. Due to a condition called dipygus, sometimes goats are born with double the amount of pelvises and legs. People call these octogoats. However, this mutation is not just limited to humans. There have been cases among humans too. In some cases, the goat can also have both male and female reproductive organs. As with other animals, this type of mutation rarely ever allows the goat to survive birth, let alone survive infancy. However, there have been some cases of animals surviving the debilitating condition. Number 25, no neck. Get ready for some cuteness overload. These dogs have no necks. Yeah, they look kinda weird, but come on, you have to admit they are the cutest good boys and gals. Why do they look like that? Well, these dogs suffer from a rare condition called short spine syndrome. As the name suggests, these dogs have shorter spines than normal. The vertebrae in the spines tend to get fused, causing the whole spine to get shorter. This condition can be extremely difficult for the dog. They have severe mobility and stability issues. There is no real cure for this condition either, but surgeries can be done to help the dog's mobility. Now, thankfully, this condition is extremely rare. There have been just around 30 cases of dogs suffering from short spine syndrome recorded in the world. This next mutation is not as dangerous. Number 24. Blue gem. We all know and love the red lobster you see normally. But did you know, like Pokemon, there is a shiny version? And this rare version has a 1 in 20 million chance of being born. I am of course talking about the blue lobster. These lobsters have a mutation causing their whole body to be blue instead of red, as is normal. They are extremely pretty, with some having white dots, like stars in the sky throughout their body. These looks are not worthless either. Some people are willing to pay a premium to get to enjoy a blue lobster as their next meal. Unfortunately, there is no difference in taste between a normal lobster and a blue one. Number 23. Male and female. This bird looked at the beauty of both males and females of its species and said yes to both. Meet the northern cardinal. Not just any northern cardinal though. This one has bilateral Gynandromorph, a condition that causes it to have both male and female characteristics split down the middle. In this case, the looks. One side of this bird has the plumage of a male, while the other has the plumage of a female. This condition is more common in animals that have strong sexual dimorphism. The northern cardinals tend to have striking different appearances based on their gender, and these mutated versions exhibit both of those at the same time. How cool is that? Number 22. Spotted zebra. Meet Tira, the first ever polka-dotted zebra discovered in history. Instead of having stripes, Tira has a black coat with white polka dots all over it. And yes, it looks as cute as you can imagine. Tira was found in Kenya, and since then, more such zebra fowls have been sighted in the Botswana region. So, what causes this unique skin color? A rare genetic mutation called pseudomelanism. This condition causes really large spots of dark coloration to appear on an animal's body. Sometimes the spots are so huge they cover the animal entirely, making it look melanistic. Unfortunately, this coloration is going to be an issue for this zebra, since zebras rely on their stripes to confuse predators. Without those stripes, Tira here could be an easier target. Speaking of melanistic, check this out. Number 21. Two-headed cow. When a cow is born, there is a 1 in 400 million chance for it to have not one, but 2 heads. Now, I am not talking about the head splitting back at the neck. Most often these heads are nearly fused together. This rare phenomenon is known as polycephaly. Unfortunately, these cows are never healthy enough to survive. Most are stillborn or die just a few hours or days after birth. In some very lucky cases, the cow can survive for tens of days before passing away. Due to their abnormality, these cows have a lot of trouble getting nursed by the mother. On top of that, these rare mutated animals tend to have other things wrong with their body on the inside, like the cardiovascular, neural, and digestive system being malformed. Number 20. Four-legged chicken. Just like ducks, chickens can also suffer from a mutation causing them to have 4 legs. Caused by polymelia, this condition is especially rare in birds. Now, don't think these chickens can walk on all 4s. 2 of the extra legs are often malformed and don't function at all. By the time the chicken is an adult, the legs just stick to its bottom, while the chicken walks around on its healthy limbs. Chickens with 4 legs need more care and attention to survive infancy. That's mainly because their extra legs can get in the way of their movement. This can prevent the chick from getting food and water. Here is a fun tidbit. Some conspiracy theorists believe that chickens are being intentionally mutated to have 4 legs, all in the name of getting more drumsticks out of them. Spooky, but not as spooky as the first entry on our list. Number 19. More legs. Ducks also have their version of rare mutations. In their case, it can be not 2, but 4 legs at birth. This condition is incredibly rare, and a duck born with it will probably never survive out in the wild. Of the 4 legs, 2 are often just there for decoration, not being used in the process of walking. In some rare cases, the duck may end up using all 4 of its limbs. Turns out scientists actually study these mutated little guys. The University of Chicago actually studies 4-legged ducks to figure out the effects of mutations in humans. While some find this mutation cute, others find it horrifying. Which camp are you in? Number 18. Hexapus. You have seen animals with more than the normal amount of limbs. But what about creatures that are born with less? Well, the hexapus is exactly that. Octopuses tend to have 8 arms, hence the name octopus. But sometimes, a mutation causes an octopus to have just 6 arms. There have been very few recorded hexapus been recorded. And since octopuses tend to disturbingly eat their own tentacles, it is difficult to identify a hexapus from a normal octopus that has lost its limbs. A fascinating phenomenon, won't you agree? Speaking of less limbs, take a look at this. Number 17. Kangaroo dog. Dogs are man's best friend, no matter what they look like. Just look at these little sweethearts. Due to a mutation, these dogs have been born without their front paws. But don't doubt their resilience even for a moment. These pups are all ready to take on life. Many dogs who suffer from this condition learn to walk on 2 legs. They even learn how to hop like a kangaroo to get around. Despite their tough disabilities, these dogs are having the time of their lives. One even became a town celebrity. Number 16. Frank and Louie. Meet Frank and Louie, a cat with 2 faces. Since it has 2 faces, it has 2 names. Frank and Louie were brought to a veterinary clinic by a breeder to be put down. But the nurse had a different idea. She took in the poor kitten and started to nurse it back to health. Now, Frank and Louie are what's called a Janus cat. These cats have 2 faces and almost never survive more than a few days after birth. So, there was not much hope for this one either. But after being tube-fed for 3 months, our hero here had no intention of giving up on life. With its 3 eyes, 2 noses, and 2 mouths, the cat was healthy as ever. By 2012, Frank and Louie became the oldest living Janus cat ever recorded, etching its name in history. Speaking of cats, number 15. Glow-in-dark. While some genetic mutations are natural, others are induced by humans. Take these cats for example. They glow in the dark, a unique ability to have for sure. But why? These cats are not designed this way, so you don't trip over them in the dark. Nope. A bigger goal was in mind when scientists mutated these kitties. They wanted to fight AIDS. The glow-up is caused by a green fluorescent protein found in crystal jellyfish. And this protein was used as a marker. When scientists inserted a new gene into the cats for testing, they inserted this marker as well. This allowed them to see if the process had been successful or not. Hopefully, this helped them get some new answers to the cat AIDS question. Even if not, we at least got some glowing cats. Number 14. Hairless. So this is what bears look like without their thick coat of hair. Kind of underwhelming, don't you think? Don't worry, they are still a powerhouse and an apex predator. Now this hairlessness could be caused by a genetic mutation, but no one is completely sure. It could simply be because of a sickness or human actions. One thing we do know is that these things look pretty scary, but not as scary as this next entry. Number 13. Albino gator. Alligators are terrifying, and even more so when they look like ghosts. These alligators suffer from a rare condition called albinism. It is caused by a mutation that results in a lack of melanin in the skin. While this looks super cool, there are some downsides to this aesthetic choice. These gators tend to have much poorer eyesight, which in the wild can be a death sentence. On top of that, the white color is not great for blending in, especially for an ambush predator like an alligator. Albino gators stand out like a sore thumb for potential prey. All this contributes to a very, very low survival rate for albino alligators out in the wild. Thankfully, the condition is very rare. There are only about a dozen of them around the world, and all of them are in captivity. None thrive out in the wild. Hope fascinating. Number 12. see-through. This frog is unique in a very weird way. It is see-through. The glass frog allows us to see everything that goes on inside. Their blood vessels, heart, organs, everything is visible from the outside. But what is the point of mutating to become nearly transparent? Well, survival. These frogs are expert at blending into their environment. And unlike other animals that can change their color to blend in, these frogs went the transparency route, allowing the color of the background object to show through themselves. And this has resulted in near complete transparency and some great hiding skills. A wonder of nature like no other. Number 11. Liger. You thought we forgot about the ligers? No way. Ligers are a beast among beasts, and all that because of a genetic mutation. Ligers are born of a union between a male lion and a female tiger. Here is the kicker. These beasts can reach heights nearly that of 12 feet. Due to the unique circumstances of their birth, ligers are rarely ever born out in the wild. Ligers get characteristics from both their parents. They love to swim like tigers, but are also very sociable, which is a trait of lions. Ligers do suffer form health issues such as organ failure, neurological deficits, and arthritis. But with proper care, most live a long, healthy life, sometimes reaching 24 years of age. Number 10. Pink elephant. Ever seen an elephant that is pink? Well, now you have. Nope, they are not from a fantasy world. Instead, these elephants have albinism, causing their skin to lack pigmentation and appear pink. Albino elephants are not only cute, they also hold quite a lot of religious significance for Hindus, Buddhists, and other cultures. Now, being albino is no walk in the park for these beasts. They are photosensitive, have worse eyesight, and have trouble perceiving depth. But more often than not, these giants can thrive in a herd. That's because elephants don't rely on eyesight as much, allowing even albino ones to have a good chance at survival. Number 9. Golden lobster. We talked about blue lobsters, but want to know of an even rarer variant? Meet the golden lobster. These guys are even more rare than the blue lobster, only being born at a rate of 1 in 30 million. Yet in 2017, 2 were found, and thankfully, they were not eaten. The reason behind this unique coloration is a mutation that causes a lack of proteins required for the lobster to get its usual color. Number 8. Huge crocs. Sometimes nature just throws in a mutation making an apex predator even stronger than before. And these crocs won the genetic lottery, becoming behemoths in their own rights. While crocodiles are huge, you will find these to be exceptional specimens. For instance, this is Henry, the oldest crocodile alive today. And this is Tripod, a massive 1-ton croc that has anger issues. But none of those come close to this big guy. Here's the world's biggest crocodile in captivity. And this big guy tried to break away from its captor. Did I mention it eats humans? No wonder these beasts have remained unchanged for a good chunk of their history. I mean, what's to change? They are the perfect killing machine. Number 7. Strange face. You need a good stomach for this one. This piglet was born with a super strange mutation, a mutation that makes it look like it has a head of a human attached to its torso. The poor thing gasps for air, barely surviving its own birth. I doubt it would live much longer. And what's that weird thing coming out of its mouth? Don't think this is an isolated incident either. Here is another similar birth. This one looks more like an orc. Number 6. Belgian Blues. Some mutations are so incredible that they become iconic. Such is the case for the Belgian Blue, a cow breed that looks like no other. These absolute units of cows have no cap on their muscle growth. They look like the bodybuilders of the cow world. And this is not exactly natural per se. You see, Belgian Blue has a hereditary condition called double muscling. This condition causes them to have more muscle fibers and their individual muscle fiber to be much thicker. The result is a sculpted lean body with a very low amount of fat. No wonder these are shown off as a prize horse. Number 5. Blind fish. Let's talk about a mutation we don't see every day: blindness. There is a subclass of fish known as cave fish. These fish have adapted to live in dark caves where no sunlight reaches, and the results are kind of scary. Since there is no light in these caves, eyes are useless, so these fish have just stopped developing eyes. Not only that, but they also lack pigmentation since it is a waste of resources to have in a dark environment. As a result, these fish look more like ghosts than actual living beings. Even the circadian rhythm of these fish is completely off. Most live a day of 30, even 47 hours. It's almost as if they are living on another planet. Speaking of alien-like creatures, check out this next entry. Number 4. Naked mole rat. The naked mole rat is a species that has mutated to a realm nearly separate from other mammals. Their list of marvels is very extensive. For instance, they cannot feel pain on their skin. On top of that, their metabolic and respiratory rate is very low. They are also cold-blooded, a rare trait in mammals. But none of that is as interesting as their resistance to cancer. Yup, these rats cannot get cancer. They are also very well capable of surviving oxygen deprivation, so good luck trying to choke one out. And to complement that length list of superpowers, these creatures are super ugly. Naked mole rats have next to no hair on their body, and have a face only a mother could love. Yet they are apparently better survivors than us. What a marvel of nature, right? Number 3. Venus. This mutation is more cute than anything else. Meet the Chimera cats. These cats have a split right down the middle, with each side being a different color. Not only that, but they also have different eye colors on each side. How beautiful. Number 2. Albino kangaroo. Did you know kangaroos can be albino too? Well, apparently they can be. Only 1 in 10,000 kangaroos is born with this condition. And let me assure you it magnifies their cuteness factors by 10,000 times as well. Albino kangaroos have a tough time surviving in the wild due to their coloration. But there are sanctuaries made just to accommodate these beautiful creatures. Job well done, humans. Number 1. Melanistic tigers. No, this is not a new species of tigers we just discovered. These tigers have melanism mutation. The result is a beautiful dark coloration with stripes all across the tiger's body. These tigers not only look unique, but will also have an edge when hunting during the night. Unfortunately, these tigers are often poached for their unique skin, bringing an abrupt end to their beautiful mutation. Well, that does it for this video. These were the strangest and most terrifying animal mutations from around the globe. Which ones were your favorite? Do you have an animal mutation story of your own to share? Let us know in the comments down below. We would love to what your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And be sure to hit the bell icon for more quality content like this coming your way. We have a lot more fun videos planned for you. Until next time, goodbye.